to today's episode of Linking In with Louise. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the Social Selling Index on LinkedIn, what it is, and how you can increase it. So before we get started, I want to let you know that I'm starting my next LinkedIn group coaching program next week. This is my 6-week program with 6 modules full of lots of helpful videos to teach you how to use LinkedIn for business and develop a strategy. But also we have a weekly live call to answer all your questions and give you support on using LinkedIn for business. If you want to learn how to create a LinkedIn profile that will win you business, use LinkedIn to establish your thought leadership, connect with your ideal clients, this is the program for you. I love working with my clients, and in the group program we always have a lot of fun as well as learning on the weekly calls. In the past, clients who participated said, this was from Sam McFarland, a social media manager in Australia, I recently took part in Louise's Level Up Your LinkedIn group coaching program, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Louise has a vast knowledge of LinkedIn, but is able to explain it in a way that makes it easy to understand. The Level Up Your LinkedIn program has helped me to be more strategic with my approach on LinkedIn and given me tips on how to grow my network with the right connections and to be more efficient on LinkedIn. If you're looking to take your LinkedIn to the next level, then I highly recommend Louise's program. Thank you, Louise, for sharing your knowledge in such an easy to understand manner. Thank you, Sam. It was really wonderful to work with you and loved having you all the way from Australia in the program. So thanks for that. I'm now enrolling for this program. Come and visit socialbni.com/LinkedIn group coaching for more information and to sign up. Now on with the show. So your social selling index. What is this and how is it measured? Your social selling index, or SSI score, measures how effective you are at establishing your professional brand, finding the right people, engaging with insights, and building relationships on LinkedIn. LinkedIn updates this daily. So it's a measurement that is actually taken by LinkedIn, and you can only access your own score. You can't see other people's unless you ask them what theirs is and they go and find out for you. How do you find it? Once you're logged into LinkedIn, then you go to linkedin.com/sales/SSI. And I will have all of these links in the show notes for you to check out. So the SSI score is marked out of 100 and is broken down into 4 different sections. So at the time of recording, my score is 81. During the last 5-day LinkedIn challenge, it went up to 82 and now it's dropped back to 81. 81 is a really good score. So I'm ranked at the top 1% in my industry and the top 1% in my own network. So it also tells you where you sit within your network and your industry standards. So what are the 4 sections? Number 1, establishing your professional brand. So 81% of buyers will buy from a strong professional brand, and over 90% of LinkedIn members will engage with sales professionals who have established a strong brand. This is coming from LinkedIn. But how do you establish your brand? Start by creating posts and articles that show your thought leadership. I have done several podcasts talking about how and blog posts on how to do this. So go back and check through the back catalogue. There's 2 articles on my LinkedIn profile on how to write a good article on LinkedIn. And also we've got content about the difference between posts and articles. So go and check those out. Think about adding a SlideShare to your profile. So the SlideShare is basically when you do a presentation on Google Slides or on PowerPoint, you can upload those into SlideShare on LinkedIn and you can add them directly to your profile. This can go in the featured media section in your profile, which is also the place for linking to articles, external websites, adding your speaker reel and more. So when I recently worked with a client who has been speaking at events around the world and has written articles, they were able to add these to their featured section, and it really highlights your expertise and it really helps you to get found. So I noticed that since I added my 2 articles that I wrote for Social Media Examiner to my featured section, that the number of people viewing my profile has risen, and the quality of the leads of the people who are viewing my profile has risen as well. So there are people from large corporates looking at my profile And there are also people who are founders or C-suite level looking at my profile as a result. Write longer posts that engage with your industry and network. Make these relevant to your career or your business, not just random posts about any old thing. Getting endorsements from your network helps with this professional brand section as well. When you endorse others in your network, you might find that they reciprocate with you. Okay, so that is the personal brand section. In that one, I get 23.13 out of 25. I think it's really funny that it's 0.13. We'll have to keep a wee eye on that, see how we can get that up. Okay, so number 2, the second section is finding the right people. And in the find the right people section, I measure 17.4 out of 25, which is very interesting. So finding the right people can be tricky if you're not paying for LinkedIn Premium. It's also, understanding who that you want to connect with and have in your network. So if you just accept anybody and everybody into your network, I would say your score here won't be that high. Whereas if you're connecting with people who you then engage with, I think your score goes higher. Use the search box at the top of LinkedIn to search for people who are relevant to you. Connect with people who are connected to your first level connections. Okay, so those are the second level connections. When you click on the search box at the top of LinkedIn, a pop-up box appears and you can refine your search by people, jobs, content, companies, schools, and groups. So to increase this score and to build a good network around you, connect with people you have something in common with. So maybe you're in the same groups, maybe you went to the same university, maybe you work in the same industry. If you have LinkedIn Premium, you can see who's been viewing your profile. Reach out to those people. LinkedIn Premium will tell you who has looked at your profile over the last 90 days. Recently, I reached out to connect with 3 people who work at a global accountancy firm after they commented on one of my posts. I now have all 3 people in my network, and we have had a few individual conversations in the inbox. Remember, when you send out a connection request, always personalize your invite because it starts a conversation, and that person might not necessarily want to work with you, but they might have somebody else in their network who they can refer to work with you. This sort of follow-up quite often leads to work for me because people refer other people to me when they see how active I am on LinkedIn and appreciate the value in the posts and the content that I share. You can do the same across so many different industries, but if you're not connecting and then posting your own content, you're not really taking advantage of the whole platform. This is something I cover in my one-to-one strategy sessions with my clients. And if you'd like to find out more about those, if you go to my website and click on the book a discovery call, we can have a chat about how I can help you directly with that. Okay, the third section is to engage with insights. Now, I have a lower score here, so I have 15.9 out of 25. If you pay for Sales Navigator, you get more detail in your insights, and that would boost your score. All right. But other ways to engage with your insights. So to increase this number, LinkedIn recommend you share valuable content with your network and tag those that you think would be interested in the content. Comment on posts from other people in your network. Don't just click the like button. No. Write something that continues the conversation and shows your knowledge or interest in the subject. Increase your own posting frequency. So if you're using LinkedIn to really build your network and grow your business, I recommend you're posting daily on LinkedIn. If this is your only social media platform for winning business, then take it seriously and invest the time. Be strategic with what you share. Simply sharing anecdotes or funny videos will not bring you business. We're looking for posts that start conversations. And a case in point here for me is one of my posts recently that I just couldn't resist sharing it. It was a New Jersey government, this is during coronavirus, has a graphic that says when you're social distancing, make sure you have at least one Bruce Springsteen between you and another person. And if you're a long-time listener, you'll know that I am Bruce Springsteen's biggest fan. And I just love this graphic. So I shared it to my LinkedIn network. They're not connected with me because of Bruce Springsteen. They're connected with me because they want to know more about LinkedIn. So I didn't really get much reaction with that post. But you know what? It's okay. I still wanted to share it anyway. If there's somebody in your network who has a crossover of client type with you, in other words, you work with similar audiences, by commenting on their posts, you will raise your profile in front of their audience. This leads to more people having a look at your profile and then sending connection requests. All right, the fourth and final section is build relationships. And I'm delighted to say that I score full marks in this section. Yay! So building relationships, how do you do that? Connect and establish trust with decision makers. According to LinkedIn, there are over 5 people in companies. There are over 5 people who are involved in making decisions about investing in business. So focus on building relationships with more senior level executives if you're working in the B2B sector. Nurture those relationships by reaching out, commenting on their posts, tagging those contacts when relevant, or messaging them to keep in touch. LinkedIn does use the social selling index to encourage you to try their premium sales account, which is called the Sales Navigator. It costs around £70 a month. You don't need to use Sales Navigator, though, to build a good network around you. I don't have it. I don't use it. And I find that I get a lot of business from LinkedIn, as you know. It's better to have a fully developed strategy for using LinkedIn. I think, and if that's something, as I said before, that I can help you with, I'd be delighted to do so. Sales Navigator is a fantastic tool, and it's for the next step along the way. So if you're just getting started with LinkedIn, or you've got a optimized profile and you started posting, it might be something worth looking at. If you've got a LinkedIn profile but you haven't updated it in a while, or it's been weeks since you posted your last status update, then don't be starting to pay for Sales Navigator yet. Start to build your organic network and reach on LinkedIn first, and then think about investing in the premium accounts. I would love to hear what your social selling index is. And when we ran the last 5-day LinkedIn challenge, not every member, but a good 20 or 25 people doing the challenge measured their SSI at the start of the week and again at the end. Most people raised their SSI by a couple of points, which was brilliant. And actually one lady raised hers by 10 points. She was over the moon. So if you'd like to know more about social selling index and how you can grow that number and make the best out of LinkedIn, then get in touch with me today. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to help you to win business on LinkedIn. All right. I hope everyone's keeping well, and get in touch. I'd love to, if you find this podcast useful, I'd love for you to share it with one other person. Also, you know that I love getting LinkedIn. I love getting podcast reviews on Apple Podcasts, and it helps other people to find my podcast as well. So I would be really honoured if you would leave me a review on Apple Podcasts or get in touch. If you're listening to this in real time, then you've still got time to sign up for the group coaching program beginning next week. And if you're listening to this in the future, so it's the middle of April right now, then jump on the waitlist and go over to the website, and you can find details on how to get on the waitlist or get your LinkedIn freebies. socialbni.com/LinkedIn freebies. And I will talk to you next week on the podcast.